This video is sponsored by Nadu, a unique African ready-to-wear fashion brand.
My name is Patricia. I have two amazing energetic boys. I work with my husband in our construction company, Frontiers Engineering Services, and I also run a kids shop, Frontiers Homie. You can find me on social media as Trisha Perez. Interestingly, my church runs this group kind of counseling for couples. So we're about 9 couples that got into the counseling session. So 2 of them were my besties. And they got pregnant immediately, they got married. So we go to church and everyone is like, your sisters are pregnant. When are you getting pregnant? And I'll just tell them, how come? If 2 of my sisters are pregnant, then I'll just have to wait when they deliver so that I can be of help to them. But it wasn't coming. So I was just waiting and praying. Then one day we went to church and the pastor says, those that want babies, they should receive. The way I jumped, I received. So that very month, I knew definitely I was going to get pregnant because we were trying here and there. Then that morning, I got up. I wasn't feeling myself, so I got the kids, I peed on it. Then I checked and the 2 lines were there. My husband was then sleeping. I went in, I said, Nana, I think I'm pregnant. I was like, are you sure? Because we've checked for a while and there was nothing showing. So he said, okay, then you take your bath, let's go to the hospital and confirm. We got to the hospital and the nurse looked at me. I was like, Madam, Kofi, So she ran the test and it was true, I was pregnant. So he said, okay, do I want to take my first scan? My husband said, yeah, let's see what's up. So we took the scan and I discovered I had fibroid. So it was like, wow, so fibroid in pregnancy, how are you going to deal with this? So he said, okay, we should go see the Ghanaian, let's talk it over. So I was then 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant when we discovered it. We met the Ghanaian. She was good. She was amazing. She just lifted up our spirits because somehow the joy was like, ooh, now I'm going to have fibroid in pregnancy. Because I was like 50-50. The fibroids are in my uterus, and that's where the baby is going to be. So how will it be when the baby starts developing? And she said, oh, don't worry, just cut your diets. Don't take this, don't take that, and let's see how it goes. The first trimester is the hardest, but definitely you can get through it. So getting to know I was pregnant was exciting. It was like super exciting. We really needed it because the pressure was coming too much. We were married for barely a year, but interestingly, because my 2 besties were already pregnant, everyone was expecting that I also get pregnant. So you kind of, but I wasn't tickled. My husband was okay. I wanted to get my master's. I had applied, so I was waiting for my admission. So it was really no issue for me. I wanted to go back to school, so I wasn't bothered about it. But some way, somehow, we are human, so you feel it. So we pray about it. We do what we are supposed to do, and we waited on God, and definitely He came. Oh, the pampering was on top. Because of the condition I was in, you're not supposed to lift this, you're not supposed to sleep this way, you're not supposed to eat this. But my husband was at his best, at every beck and call. Unless I don't do then he's there. So It was great. It was great. Family and friends were coming in, even though they didn't know what I was going through. The pain was excruciating, but the pampering took it away. Like, I knew I was in pain, but my husband was just there. Every step of the way, he was just there. He will buy whatever I need. Sometimes I'll tell him I'll eat T-shirts, and where we stay and where the T-shirts is, oh my goodness, he will drive all the way there, just get it for me. And sometimes the massages, and because I was having fibroids, so my stomach was a bit big, so all the waist massage, oh goodness, unless I don't say, Nana, my leg, I can't move my leg, then you just say, oh okay, let me massage you. And it was fun. Even though the pampering was there, I was going through all the pain on medication here and there. But the joy to see that, oh, I'm pregnant, so I have to do my best to keep the pregnancy. Don't do this, okay? Nyakwan, you tell Nyakwan, you can't do this. Trish, don't go here, don't go there. So I was basically at home. Just for the first trimester, I was basically at home, because when I sit in a car and just bumps into a pothole, I get black spots. So I was just at home, advised to be at home. And if I want the baby, then I should just protect myself. So basically doing that. I always wanted twins, so, and because my stomach was big because of the fibroid, I would go to church and someone would say, hey, where the part? Oh, one tafu. And I say, I receive it, even though I know it is not a twin. So it's basically, I was just enjoying what comes with pregnancy, all the pampering, all the amazing moments that comes with it. But it wasn't really, it wasn't like a normal pregnancy for me. So I was a bit relaxed and a bit reserved. Like, I knew it would take God to take me through it. So I wasn't all kind of enjoyment about it. I knew God has to take me through. So the least minute is just prayers, because the rest was pain. So basically, when we find out that I had fibroid in pregnancy, and mine was just noodles, they were small, about 4 or so. So the doctors were like, okay, in order not for the fibroid to also compete for space with the baby, I need to cut down on certain intake of food. I need to cut down on some diets. Then I'll have to be at my best, rest most of the time, no pressure. I should make sure I'm not stressed, because the least thing can trigger something. So fibroid wasn't, it's not easy to talk about it. It wasn't easy for me and my husband, but he was strong. My husband doesn't take negativity. He doesn't, not even the slightest. So if I'm to tell him, Nana, meha eye meya, he said, Pat, ebeko wate, ebeko. Then we'll just pray about it, because we know we've taken all the medicine we need to take, and the rest is up to God to do his part. So with the fibroid, I'll wake up at dawn, just be crying because the pain. You can't sleep in a certain posture. I'm a tummy sleeper, and this is the case. You are pregnant and your belly is big because of this fibroid, and you can't sleep on your tummy. You have to be sleeping by your side. It was uncomfortable, But I also wanted to have a baby against all odds. I knew God had given me a gift, and I knew He would give me the grace to go through it. And my husband was there. He was absolutely there every step of the way. Sometimes there was a particular drug I needed to be taking daily, twice in a day. And sometimes we'll come through of Adenta municipality. My husband knew almost all the pharmacy shops. He would go here and they would tell him, okay, go to this shop. And he was excited to be doing it because he wanted to be a dad. He was just ready to do the impossible so that I can survive with a baby. Interestingly, I think I had a smooth pregnancy aside the pain. Because I wasn't nauseous, I wasn't throwing up, my appetite was okay. Just give me any food with pepper in it or slimy and I'm good to go. I wasn't sleeping that much. I could stay up for long. I was okay, just that I wasn't supposed to do tedious things. That was the only thing. But I was an active person. My husband would take me for a walk every day. We'll go for a walk because aside that I needed the energy, so we'll go for a walk, eat healthy. Aside the pain, I was good. I knew from the beginning it was going to be a CS. So from day one, I knew it was going to be a cesarean session. But what I didn't also want was to take the baby and later take the fibroid. I wanted to take both at the same time. And initially, the doctor I was with said he can only take the baby and later I'll come in to take the fibroid. But we have a family doctor, Dr. Champon. He's amazing. He has his own hospital at Kotoku. He recommended us to a doctor, Dr. Wuku, at Samuel General Hospital, and said, okay, I should come in. I think on my, was it 36 weeks? Yes, 36 weeks. I went to see him and he said, okay, so 38 weeks, he's going to schedule for an elective CS for me. So he's going to take both the baby and the fibroid out. So I, from day one, knew it was a cesarean session. So we had read about it, psyched ourselves. I knew it was going to be bloody because it was like, it's a bloody surgery I'm going to go through. But with God, we will push through. So it was basically God, take us through and bring us back. Let my HP be high so that I don't get blood transfusion. Because I was so much praying against it. Like, God, I don't want to go through blood transfusion. My elective CS was scheduled for a Tuesday. So the Monday, I reported to the hospital. The doctor booked a VIP room for my husband and I. My husband is always with me from antenatal. Every schedule with the doctor, he's always present. So he booked a room for us. We went in Monday, ran all the lab tests. Then early Tuesday morning, they came to prep me for theater. And when I was going, I just told my husband, I'll be back. Then we prayed, I went in, and just within 15 minutes, the baby was out. And I was on the bed for over 3 hours. It got to a point, I was chilled, like very frozen. The doctor was asking me, what's going on? What's wrong? I said, I can't feel myself, like I'm losing breath. I was like, okay, I should be talking to him. Whatever is happening to me, I shouldn't be quiet about it. I should open up to him. And wow, for 3 hours, all the prayers going through my head was, God, I want to go and see my baby. I don't want anyone taking care of my baby. You have given this baby to me as a gift, and I want to hold him. I want to nurse him. God, please, I want to go back to my husband and my baby. And interestingly, the doctors were on point. Dr. Wuku, he will just be talking to me throughout the surgery. Mami dene yo Kasa, are you feeling any pain? They say, yes, I'm cold. They will bring the blanket, they will bring a warmer, and still I was cold, I was shivering. But God being so good, it was successful. I didn't need any transfusion. I got to the recovery, and my baby was still crying. He had been with the father, so he was still crying. I was like, God, I want to give my baby milk. I want to hold him. So I was there in recovery because I was still shaking after the surgery. I don't know what was wrong. Like, I was just shaking throughout. But I got stabled. They brought in the baby. I was wheeled to my room. And that has been it. My husband was still there. And because I had been on the bed for long, the whole delivery process was just 15 minutes, cut, and baby was out. But because of the fibroid, I was on the bed for over 3 hours, and the place was chilled, and I can't take cold temperature. So being in it for over 3 hours, my body started reacting to it, and they'll cover me with blankets, bring a warmer, but still I got to the recovery and I was still shaking. My husband was like, why, what's happening? I said, oh, okay, she'll be all right. That's why they brought me to recovery to monitor me. But God being so good, I went through it, was taken back to my room. I saw the baby, had my first breastfeeding. Then the mother journey started. Woo! It was amazing. For 9 months, I was expecting him. I was like, God, I want to hold my baby. When I was on the theater bed, after they took him, all the prayers going through my head was, God, I want to go and see my baby and my husband. I want to go and hold them. So when I had the opportunity to hold them, I won't let go. My mother-in-law would say, Pat, I need to walk a cry. So ma, so I would just be holding him, giving him all the milk that I can give him. Even when he's not hungry, I want to take him and just feed him. So it was exciting. It was exciting knowing that we fought the fibroid and we overcame it. So we had to name him Nkunim because we fought a good fight and God was on our side. I did 6 months exclusive, yes. I went to pregnancy school, and it's one of the things that helps so much when you are pregnant and you are able to experience the pregnancy school. You are told the benefits of giving your baby the 6 months exclusive breast milk. So I was eager to do it, even though it was tiring, it was stressful. I was ready to do it. I was all ready to do the exclusive. Even though it took a toll on me, I was ready to do it. I think after 3 days from the hospital, I was with my husband. We had a VIP room, so he was with me throughout, from the day before the surgery till we were discharged. He took me to his mother's house, like his parents' house. So when my mother-in-law was there, happily, he came to pick us from the hospital. So we went home. Okay, I'm home. Now my husband has to go back to our home because we run our own company. It's a construction company. So if he doesn't move, money will not come. And now we have another mouth to feed, so we needed all the money and all the resources. So he stayed with me for a while, then he went back home. So I was with my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my other in-laws. Very much. I think I got depressed along the way. My pressure went up when I was in my in-laws' place. I think the first 6 weeks, my pressure went up because the baby won't sleep at night. He would just cry unless you are holding him. Like, I have to hold him throughout the night. If I happen to sleep off, then that means he won't stop crying. So, and as a new mom, I had not experienced holding a baby before, because in my house there was no baby around. None of my friends had given birth then. So the first baby I had the opportunity to hold was one of my besties who gave birth not long before I did. So being a new mom took a toll on me. Like, I haven't seen it done before. I had not changed diaper before. I had not seen somebody so close to me doing it. So it was like a whole new experience for me. But my husband was there every step of the way. Okay, Pat, you are tired. What can I do to help you? Okay, you go rest. I'll take care of the baby. And because it was our own business we were running, he could schedule himself. Sometimes he has to go for site meeting, but he said, okay, Nyakwa, let me stay with you. Let's do this together. There's no help coming from anywhere. It's just the two of us. Because where we stay, we are so far from family and friends. By the time somebody says, I'm visiting you, and we'll call, by the time they get to the house, it's almost evening, and there's nothing the person can do for you. So it took a whole toll on us. But with the two of us, we were able to manage. He was very supportive. I never thought I could be that patient. Hey. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'll be so stressed and this boy will be crying. Like, I'll be like, Nkunim, who's a my brain? And my husband is a part turbo. But through and through, I've matured. I've learned to be patient more, and I've learned to give back to God my best, because I knew from day one it has been Him and it will always be Him. So I think motherhood, we learn daily. We learn daily because every day I get to experience new things. And I had my second born when Nkunim was, I think, 1 year, 6 months. Then I got pregnant. So I was like pregnant with the baby. I had a CS, still healing, and I have another baby coming in. But it was okay. Like, I just had to put myself in a position that I am now a mother. There's no help from anywhere. It's just my husband and myself. If somebody comes with an extra hand, thank God. But if nobody comes, it's just the two of us. We wake up, we thank God, we run our schedules together. So with motherhood, you daily learn. My mother-in-law will tell you, basically, you are not supposed to get sick. Yes, you can take the rest that you need. But if you know your child needs to be fed, your husband needs to be fed, there are certain things you just need to put behind you and just get yourself in the best of moods and do your best. So for my first son, the anesthetist came to the house to do it for him. And we did a ring type, but even though with a ring, it wasn't that scary. I wasn't able to watch. I was so scared. I was like, oh, woo, my son. And the way he was crying, But my husband said, oh, it's boys, boys, you'll get through it. Then afterwards, I went to take him, gave him milk, and we're good to go. Very, very. Oh, goodness. As for my body, it has really changed. I was super slim, super slim. A size 6 or a size 8. Now I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm hoping to get back in shape after breastfeeding. I call my boys energy. The first one, oh my goodness. Our first time we had to rush him to the hospital was one early morning. He just fell off from the bed, and that time he had started teething, and the teeth went right inside. So we're like, whoa. He was bleeding in the mouth. We just took a car, rushed him to the hospital. We got to the hospital, we sat down from about 6 something in the morning, and the dentist came in around 9. He looked at him and said, Madam, there's nothing wrong with your baby. He's okay. He examined him, and it was like, okay. So after 2 weeks, if the teeth doesn't pop up again, then you bring him. But few days he recovered, and we're good. Okay, then the second one, that was super scary. 6 weeks after birth, we're going for a 6 weeks immunization. But that day I felt there was something wrong with the baby. He wasn't crying his usual cry. So my husband said, okay, let's see the doctor. We went in and they examined him, and they were like, he has pneumonia. So they are going to admit us. Hey. Okay, so we got admitted, and it wasn't easy. Initially, I thought it was okay. There was nothing scary about it. But before I knew, they had put oxygen on him. Hey, wow. Then my husband is always with me, so we were always together in the hospital. He got a room for us, and we will run shifts. I'll express milk, I'll go and rest for a while. He will sit up and be with the baby. Wow, 6 weeks in. Everybody who sees the baby is like, wow. 6 weeks, and this baby is going through this with all the needles here and there, and we're in the hospital for a whole week, and that was the most scariest, the most scary moment in motherhood so far for me. The thought that my baby had to go through all that pain, because sometimes they want to take blood and they can't find a vein, and they will just be pricking him with the needle, and I'm like, God, I'll be crying. I don't know, but I'll just cry throughout. Like, just seeing him makes me cry. I'm like, God, what is this? We had not even named him. So we're like, God, what is this? What is this? What's this? And I'm the type that's so particular about my kids. I won't expose you unnecessarily. So being told that he had pneumonia was like a whole news to me. I won't put on the fan or air conditioner, I was very particular about their health. So we're like, okay, don't worry, we will get through it. We've been through another phase, so this is also a phase we need to go through it. But through and through, we came out, and he's running around. He's good. being a mother of 2 boys, and these boys are not dull boys, very energetic. I'll wake up in the morning and I'm already tired. Waking up from bed, I'm already tired. I've not begun the day's activity, but I'm tired. But seeing them smile, mention your name, mama, and knowing that, oh yes, you are the boss, but not the boss. But it's been good. My husband has been supportive, so we kind of share the responsibility. He scratched my back, I scratch his. It's been good. Through and through. It's been not so challenging. Yes, because I don't work for anybody. So the demand of going back to work and stuff like that, because we work on our own, I run my own schedule. When I'm off work, I'm off work. When I'm with the kids, I'm with the kids. But apparently home, but still working. The fact that you're called a mother, like, they'll see, are these your children? Oh yes. Wow, they are lovely boys. And your head is swollen. It's nice. It's the joy of every married person, trust me, to hear a cry of a baby. We will say that there's no pressure or anything, but trust me, it is an experience worth having. I wish every woman out there that desires to have the fruit of the womb gets to experience it. It's something else. I don't know how to describe it, but motherhood comes with its own blessing, it's a whole dimension on its own. Everyone and how they experience this. But for me, it's been a journey, and it's been a journey worthwhile. I won't say that sometimes when we give birth to young couples, you shouldn't let pressures of external family or society get you into doing things you don't want to do. For instance, in my case, if we had gotten so pressurized to give birth the very minute we got pregnant, like during our honeymoon, I don't know the kind of stress it would have put on my husband and I, because as young couple living far from family and friends and going through fibroid and pregnancy, I don't know what would have happened to my marriage. But since we were together for a while, we desired to have the child. So when the child came in, we were excited. When I got pregnant, I was so excited. My husband was so excited. He will do the extra to see that I go through the pregnancy successfully. So I'll just tell young couples, they should just be themselves. They should enjoy their marriage while there are no kids. Now, sometimes I want to go out, but I'm like, where am I going to leave these kids? Am I taking them along? Or what should I do? And sometimes you just want to have a moment to yourself, only you and your husband. But that time it's gone, unless these kids are grown, or I don't want to leave my kids with someone. Most of the time I want to have them around me, because I feel they are going through their learning stages. So I don't want to expose them too much. So I wish we had enjoyed more. So I'll just tell young couples, if the baby isn't coming, you don't know God's time. Relax, enjoy your marriage. Marriage is not all about making babies. There's a lot to it. Develop the other aspects of your marriage. When the babies come, glory be to God.
This video was brought to you by Nadu, a unique African ready-to-wear fashion brand.